Hi, how the hell are you? You're back. We're back. Another episode of What the Hell Podcast. Please like, rate, subscribe, watch it on YouTube, tell your friends, all this stuff. Now that that's out of the way, let's let the opening song roll and get into the show. What do you say? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Oh man, what the hell? And we're back. Oh, hey, that remember back in the day that just popped into my head. The old Jimmy Fallon and Ben Affleck skit on Saturday Night Live when they were radio DJs.
See, no, I think what you're thinking of is when we used to work the radio station.
That's where we got it from, though.
No. That was the first time you heard me use my radio voice.
Yeah.
Because you did not know. And so I just went, and we're back.
And then you'd watch on YouTube. There was a Saturday Night Live skit. Jimmy Fallon was training Ben Affleck to be a radio DJ, and his whole thing was coming out of a break. You go, and we're back. And yeah, I just did that.
Sounds painful.
Oh, look at the kitty.
No, no, but the best part about that skit was it was two guys doing like four separate characters.
Oh yeah, Dan the Garbage Man,
and that's the thing is I used to work for a guy named Dan that I nicknamed Dirty Dan the Garbage Man.
I was gonna say one of them would have made it better if he was a garbage man.
Yeah, and he loved it.
That was a good skit. Anyway, we're back. Welcome to another episode of the What the Hell Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Sean.
I am man of many books.
And I helped. Oh, wait. No, that's shaking.
Throwback.
Damn it. All right. Well,
we like to show our age here on the What the Hell Podcast.
I was having fried chicken flashbacks.
There you go.
Which
Nothing wrong with that as long as it's good fried chicken.
Doesn't quite sound that bad, actually, now that I say it out loud. A fried chicken flashback doesn't sound that bad.
Okay, random look at the kitty thought. Has anyone tried the new Popeye's chicken sandwich, the one that's not breaded?
When it's not, no, if it's not breaded, what's the point?
It's blackened. It's still got seasoning and all that. I have not had it yet, but I'm based on the flavor of the other chicken sandwich. I'm gonna fucking try it.
I would try it, but I mean,
I know, but like, see, my problem is like I know everybody loves the chicken sandwich. If I'm going to Popeyes, give me a 2-piece macaroni and cheese, red beans and rice. Let me call it a day.
You only want 2 pieces of macaroni and cheese? That seems...
Yeah. That's exactly what I meant.
Man.
I love it.
I didn't realize that Popeyes had mac and cheese that was that big.
That's a fucked up diet if you're only getting 2 noodles.
Right?
No. 2-piece, drum and thigh. You get the white, you get the dark. Let's go.
Yeah. When it's fresh, Popeyes is delicious shit. I am not going to argue. That's what I was just asking, wondering if anyone
Isn't the drum and thigh both dark?
Thigh is dark, yeah. That is correct.
Oh, thigh is dark.
Yes.
Oh. Shut me up.
That's it. Start over.
Rewind. Let's just edit this all out. No.
And welcome back to the What the Hell Podcast.
Oh, we got the housekeeping out of the way, so let's get an update. Magnificent jackass wearing a Deadpool shirt. How's your week? Well, actually, let's be real. It's been 2 weeks. We took a break last week.
Oh crap!
Just, needed to do that.
Don't ask me to recap 2 weeks. That's just
too late. I already did.
Well, it was boring then because I don't remember a lot of it. I sat around.
Either that or you were drunk the entire time. Or both.
Well, no, it definitely wasn't that. That would at least I would have some stories to tell, as opposed to just sitting on the couch and it's like enveloping all of my life force and making me fall asleep.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you'd be sitting here going, yeah, we were chasing around each other in the backyard, slapping each other with tortillas.
I mean, there was a few times this week that I was a samurai, but other than that.
And that has
I
to do with
respect that.
that has to do with a video game, I'm assuming.
It does.
Okay.
Because
How was Turkey Day?
mainly because if I was actually not referencing a video game, I'm sure Lynn would be really pissed right now because, where did you buy that sword?
No, it would be more like, why didn't
see
you
it.
get one so we could duel each other?
Well, no, because she would win. So no,
No,
Oh, that's it.
and that's the thing.
I know what I'm sending you to for Christmas.
I don't have the
Nerf
coordination.
samurai swords.
It's bad enough giving her a Nerf gun. I don't need to give her an actual weapon.
And that's the thing. I think if Lynn saw you with a samurai sword, she would probably be more scared than anything.
Well, she would actually probably be not necessarily scared of actual violence as opposed to me just injuring myself because of my
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
That's fair.
that's more I don't want to drive you to the emergency room than being actually
You are not getting blood in my car, sir.
Yeah, see there. Yeah, there we go.
It's the same thing. It's like TJ eating nachos with a white shirt on.
Yeah.
Bound for disaster.
Or it's like overweight guy eating anything saucy and fuck.
Well, that's just kind of a rite of passage, though. That just happens no matter what. Actually, I'm not even thoroughly convinced that you're actually making the mistake of it happening. It's just like some of the sauce actually just jumps out of whatever container and just goes like.
I think that's a better explanation.
I don't think that's
he tells himself this as he loads 8 bottles of laundry detergent into his cart.
I don't think that's human error as much as it is just like magnetism or something like that, where it's like it's just attracted.
As long as I'm alive and overweight, buy stock in Tide pens.
I've actually got a T-shirt. So it's got if anybody's listening or either one of you are familiar with Dragon Ball Z, it's got a nice little thing of Vegeta, like a side view of his face.
Yeah,
it's my fajita shirt, and it's blue, and there must have been 2 or 3 weeks straight where so whether you're making dinner or whatever, all of a sudden you wash your clothes and when it comes back out, it's still got like a spot, like here or wherever. So, you do the motherfucker and you did the thing and you put the spot remover on it or whatever else, and you put it in the wash and you take it out and you dry it. You're like, oh, cool. That spot's where the fuck did that spot come from? And you're looking at like a different spot on the shirt. Then you do that. And then again, it's hanging up over here somewhere. And I'm kidding. I kid you not. I've washed spots out of it twice, and now there's still at least one on it that, again, I don't know where that one came from.
That's the worst.
Yeah, that's why I'm convinced it's not something about actual human error as far as anything with like eating something with a sauce. No, it's just the shirt just does that.
No, but that's the thing is like I'm convinced I am genetically predispositioned to do this because my father was notoriously terrible at the same thing. It does not matter how careful I am, and doesn't matter what I am wearing, like some of my meal is going on me at some point.
Yeah,
it's the flavor saver. You're saving it for later.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
That's what the goatee's for. How was Turkey Day up there in the cold Midwest for you there, Mr. Magnificent
Turkey Day
Jackass?
Turkey Day was pretty good.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure which one you were talking to either, so I wasn't.
It's all good.
I thought you checked in with him.
We're pretty much in the same area, so it's fine. We pretty much probably had the same Turkey Day.
Go on. Everyone needs to tell their Turkey Day story. So go ahead there, Magnificent Books. That's right. I mixed you two together.
I am man of many books. I will not be
that
mixing with Jason, whatever the hell that means.
So if you're Magnificent Books, that means I'm man of many jackasses.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean,
yes.
Only if you have kids someday.
We have a winner.
I'll give it that one. That's fine.
Yeah, only if you have kids someday.
Well, yeah.
But anyways, my Turkey Day was great. I ended up at Ford Field, sitting third row watching the Lions game.
Oh, fuck. Nice.
I mean, didn't end up how we wanted it, but it was a dogfight, great game. I went back to grandma's, had myself a turkey dinner, and went home, and that was it. So my Turkey Day was pretty great.
This Lions game sounds way better than me sitting on a couch regretting my life decisions.
Oh, Lord.
Like, oh, why does my chest hurt? All I had was turkey.
Did you
I
go
had
over to
nachos and turkey.
there you go. God. Did you go over to Dad's, or
Oh
what
yeah.
did you wind up doing? I heard
No,
they had
well,
a
I mean,
house. They had pretty much had a house full.
oh yeah, since we're home, then we did the when we were out in Vegas, we didn't really have anybody to visit because all of our family was here. So we did our non-traditional last year, but this year it was, we were right down the street from mom and dad and 2 hours away from her parents. So it was like, well, we'll go back to whatever anybody else is serving.
There you go.
So we had all the usuals.
Very nice. And same story here. We get the whole family together, whole wife side of the family together over at the nephew's house, and ate too much and goofed around and all that kind of stuff. So, and then
I will say this. About your in-laws Thanksgiving. I do miss, because they do the traditional spread, but the one time I came, they also had just a fresh pan of enchiladas, which was fucking brilliant.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I support that.
My niece's ex-boyfriend. They worked together. They worked.
I am your father's brother's cousin, former roommate.
They met at a restaurant, and this guy was one of the executive chefs.
Ooh.
And he made, and I was talking to my brother-in-law about this yesterday. He made a stuffing recipe.
Ooh.
But it was made from tamale fixins. Dude. Yeah. The look on TJ's face doesn't do it justice. It was phenomenal.
Oh, no. You combined two of my favorite things, stuffing and tamales?
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Oh, I need to try this. I think
some of those books are about to catch on fire.
Yeah, they are.
That shit was, the regular stovetop barely got touched, but that shit was gone. And he made a huge fucking pan of it. But yeah, so, and it was, the guy was so good. I mean, you tasted the tamale, you tasted stuffing, you tasted turkey. I mean, yeah, it was fucking good. Said something like she needs to at least get with him to get the recipe or some shit. But
agreed.
But yeah, it was, had a good time, quite the spread. My brother-in-law, Stephanie's brother, came in, and his wife came in from California on Wednesday, I believe. Went back on Saturday, so it was good to visit with them and hang out and all that. So that was about it around here. So all good. Nice. I think TJ had the best though, going to a football game, third row. That's not bad.
I mean, yeah, it was pretty great. It was a very chill Thanksgiving. It wasn't like the whole big old family gathering. And I'm not saying I didn't want that. I would have done that, but it was just, me and my uncle, and then we went back to my grandma's. 3 of us sat down, had dinner.
There you go.
All right, I got to work in the morning. All right, great seeing you. It was exactly what the doctor ordered.
And I will just say this for the record. I know we do have people that download this from Ohio, and sorry, not sorry.
Oh, no, yeah.
Not even a little.
I'm not even a football fan. I don't watch football. And honestly, I kind of go the same route. And this actually goes for a couple different places, but I was cheering for Michigan because Ohio State fans are smug assholes.
You want to hear arguments out of me or him? You're not going to get it.
No, but that's what I mean. I'm not even a football fan, and I'm like, oh my god, there's only so many times I want to fucking hear you talk about how great this is and how great that is. Shut up.
They're shut up today. They're very quiet.
They got shut the fuck up.
The other one, honestly, are Pittsburgh Steelers fans.
Can't argue that. My nephew's
no. You, Sean, of all people, should especially know this. Cowboy fans.
Oh yeah, there is a specific level of that.
Yeah.
There was one of those. Yeah, at least locally around here, between some of the people that I know, it's like that. Yeah, like, and especially with the Browns and Steelers rivalry, it's like, okay, you know what? It's an offshoot. It's very few and far between if the Browns are going to win or whatever else.
Ain't that the truth?
When they do, why not just shut the fuck up and let them have their moment? As soon as they lose, they're like, oh well, I mean, they were only playing this person wasn't playing, and so was injured, and they were having a bad night, and the referees were. I'm like, just shut the fuck up. Let them have their moment.
They never will.
No.
Because they beat up on you guys for so long, and now you guys are punching back, and they're like, well, this isn't normal.
I'll say, and it's kind of the same thing that I've always kind of saw. It's not sought. That was a bad choice of words. Saw in like the whole thing with Michigan and Ohio State. It's like, as soon as something happens where Michigan wins, and it's like, oh well, I mean, it was because the wind was 2 degrees to the left, while the downwind was coming the wrong direction. You're like, let them let you fucking have the moment. Good God.
Well, you can't, but that's the one thing I will say about.
I saw the game. They earned it.
That's the one thing I will say about most Ohio State fans is they can't let it go. Right.
It's not even.
And I'll be the first person to admit that I'm not happy about the last, I don't know, 10 fucking years and the ass whippings we got. But I'm man enough to say, in most of those cases, Ohio State was the better team.
Yeah.
In most.
And that's the thing. And that's the point I was about to make is, like, if Michigan beats Ohio State won't turn around and look in the mirror and go, we shit the bed.
Very true.
True.
That is very true.
Because I'll admit, just like Sean just talked about, the last 10 years, we shit the bed.
Hard. In most cases, hard. There was no fucking way. There was 2 games where we made it close out of like the last 10 or 11 years, whatever it was. And then last year and this year, we were the better team. Not that Ohio State was bad. I will say it. And I've got one friend of mine that's an Ohio State fan that turned around and looked at me and said, "You were the better team this year. You outplayed us."
There. That's all I would hope for. Like I said, yeah. I'm not even a football. That's one. I don't watch football. And as an outsider, for me to go like, yeah, I'm not a big Ohio State. I'm not a big Ohio State fan. From
an outsider, for you to look at this like situation and look at somebody that lives in your proximity and go, dude, shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah. But
I think that's huge. I think he hit the nail on the head. They're just arrogant assholes. And they can't sorry, you the first half of the game was what we were talking about this before you joined. The first half of the game was what we expected. It was a shootout. It was a battle. And it was basically evenly matched teams.
Yeah, and then you came out in the second half and you got fucking dog walked.
Yeah. And we did it without our best player. Because Corum only played 2 downs.
That's right. He was the running back. I remember.
Yep. And hey, it is what it is. We earned these last 2 victories. Ohio State earned several of their victories the last few years. We shit the bed. I'm happy to see that at a minimum, if you look at, I'd say the last 4 years, Michigan football's back to what it is supposed to be after the treacherous Rich Rodriguez and not as treacherous, but still bad Brady Hoke era.
Well, I'm just going to base this on the last 2 years. Ohio State.
I'm just glad the Orioles won.
Baseball's been over for how many months?
It's a run season, man.
Anyway,
all those home runs that Larry Bird got were great.
Whoa!
Oh, you just pissed off like I don't know how many people.
Oh, I know. Wow.
The only thing would be better if he shows up next week with a shirt that just says "Go my favorite sports team."
Oh, what? There was a what's the site, The Onion, where they do like a lot of the satirical news and all that. There was
satire.
They had a shirt a long time ago that just said "Your favorite band sucks." And I was like, oh, I just want that just out of the, because somebody's going to come up to you and be so specific and go like, Nickelback doesn't suck. And you're like, I didn't say that. So and so doesn't suck.
It's like the Big Bang Theory episode where Leonard wrote on his belly, "Go sports."
Oh yeah, there you go. I'll see, and that's usually where I go with like any of that, because not that I don't know anything about sports, but I don't routinely watch it. So that's always my go-to for the joke.
Yeah.
Is like, oh
Yeah.
It's like that line from Ferris Bueller where the guy was talking about who's playing, and he goes, "What's the score? 0-0." He goes, "Who's winning?" The Bears. And you're like, "Oh, okay." But, So
yeah, that's usually the typical joke of like the non-sports fan is like, "Go sports ball."
Yeah,
sports ball. That's pretty good. All right, now that we've exhausted our sports extravaganza, I guess we can call it, let's get into a couple of quick things. Number one, I want to say thank you very much to everybody for all the recent downloads. The downloads are going up, so appreciate that very much. Still getting a lot of downloads up there in Canada, so thank you all very much. Australia, we talked about you in the last episode. You guys are still downloading, so appreciate you, mate.
Still scare the fuck out of me.
We'll get into that in a minute.
Shout out to the international listeners.
And just anyone who's downloading. Appreciate it very much. We're creeping up. We're getting close to 10,000 downloads, believe it or not. And I'm super appreciative. So thank you. Applause for you guys. Except I hit the laughter button. So let me just shit the bed and slap myself.
Take that. Take that, assholes.
Yeah. And here's some applause for you. Thank you for listening.
We applaud you not being lazy twats.
We're so close to 10,000 downloads. You had to go and alienate the audience.
I was being appreciative for
you, Sean.
For people not being.
Because I laughed at him instead of applauding.
Oh no.
Damn it. And again, if I was a smarter man, I would just go and
we were laughing with you.
Yeah. If I was a smarter man, I'd just edit that out, but I'm too lazy. Plus, it was kind of funny. So, that having been said, thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. And again, as always, I didn't put this in the intro, but if you want to complain, if you want suggestions, hell, if you want to be on the show, send us an email. The email address is whatthehellpodcast@yahoo.com.
We'll do it live.
Now, let's get into this.
And we're back.
And we're back.
And we're back.
I like that one better. Better.
I was thinking, God help us all.
I don't see smoke.
About our, current trend of how we've been structuring the episodes, and I thought of one that I thought would be interesting and relevant and a little revealing. So today we're going to talk about what the hell are your greatest fears? What are you afraid of? What scares you? What keeps you up at night? That was super creepy. TJ, please watch this on the YouTube channel because that was funny as hell, actually.
Lynn, for all of them.
That's actually, I get that.
What am I scared of? What keeps me up at night? But, my portion of the show's done. You guys go ahead.
He just puts all his fear into his significant other.
And I'm done. I'm going to take a nap.
I'm afraid of what will happen if I don't do what Lynn tells me to do.
I would be afraid of that too. I'm not going to lie.
Why do you think I'm in a garage with all these gadgets behind me?
We can time travel out of the way.
Need protection.
What, you don't think he can do science?
Who, me? No. That's not supposed to be pink. Oh, shit.
Yeah, no.
So who wants to go first? Fears. Real, irrational.
Fears, Sean. All right. No, here, I'll start. Fears, to me, this is rational. It might not be rational to other people. And I'll get into my irrational one. My rational fear is roller coasters. And
Oh yeah.
it's and that's just here's the thing. It's not the heights thing. It's the fact that I'm just whipped around at high speeds and dramatic heights so fast that I am out of all control. And I know it does not happen often, but I also know I can go flying out of this fucking car at any time. So to me, I'm just like, no, because I know I've told this story on this podcast before, but like when I was 14, I went down to Texas to visit Sean, and I literally had a dude offer me $50 to get on the Superman roller coaster at Six Flags, which had this like insane loop. And
Yeah, right after the first hill.
I didn't do it. I didn't. I'll offer you $50. Nope.
This is true.
So that is my fear. Like it's not heights because like I can get on a flight, look out the fucking window. I could go up to the top of the Empire State Building, look out the fucking window. Like I would be fine, but it's just the fear of the unknown of like, oh God, I don't like what's about to happen.
I get that. I can get that. And then that video that went out a few years ago, not quite the same thing, but that car that fell off of that thing at a fair, and I think that was in Ohio, actually, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, and then you hear about like you hear stuff about like bolts flying off and just it's just like no, I'm good.
Yeah, from the traveling carnies where the guy operating the ride looks like he's got about a second grade education, but he's the one that had to put this fucking thing together.
Mm-hmm. So and yeah, there
was that video of that one. And it was one of those, I think it swings and then spun around on the bottom, but then one of the seats went. Whoosh.
Yep. So that's my fear. Like I know it's irrational, so I'm not a good person to invite to a theme park. Like go to Six Flags. I'll play some games. Like I'll play along, but if you want me to go on rides, I'm not your man.
Depending on the ride, I mean, didn't you do the log ride? You were okay with that, weren't you? The water log thing. I only had like one big hill.
Yeah, I did the log ride.
You did that. Yeah,
I did the pool balls, which we talked about, but like as far as like big coasters, like if you're going to a theme park with the intention of like I want to hit these big coasters,
he'll hold your purse.
Yeah, I'm not your dude.
I don't necessarily call that irrational though. Not that the whole thing had to be like, we're specifically calling out irrational fears. I don't call that irrational though. That's kind of like
that was my rational fear. That was my rational fear. I have another one.
But there was I think what he's saying, and I would agree with, is there was an irrational component in that the car flying off the track or you flying out the car, right? That's exceedingly rare.
Yeah.
But so I would say maybe that would be slightly irrational. However, I completely get it. Again, we've told that story before where on one of the old roller coasters at Cedar Point, and they had the lap bar, and the guy that I was riding with was twice my size, and I'm pretty sure my ass was about to die. Which is why from that point I was like, I'm not getting on a roller coaster unless it's got the thing that come over your head and hold you in place.
Yeah. That
was my rule forever. But and then I discovered there were ones that had individual lap bars. I'm like, oh, okay, I can do that. But so I wouldn't call that. The only thing I would call irrational in that would be the thinking that you might fly off.
Well, no, it's just the approach I take to every day is I wake up in the morning and I go, I'm going to do my best to not die.
I like that plan. I do.
It's usually a pretty good plan.
I like it. Okay, so I would say roller coasters. There's got to be a million people out there that share that just won't fucking do it. Probably for the same fucking reason, tell you the truth.
Yeah, I mean, I have to imagine I'm not alone.
No, you can't be. There's no way you can be anywhere close to being alone on that one. So, all right, there, magnificent jackass. Other than your girlfriend,
I thought I was already done. I already named one.
That's it. That's a healthy fear, though.
And anybody who downloads this who knows her goes, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." Yeah,
I'm telling you, it makes sense.
Yeah, see? There you go. I don't. I don't know if I have like any like real ones like that. I'm not
You
sure.
made a couple of comments about the large Australian spider. So do you have arachnophobia?
No, 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 not at least not for a spider that I could at least potentially kill with the palm of my hand. Not it actually being larger than the palm of my hand.
See, here's my thing with spiders. Like, if you're outside, fair game. If you're inside, you're fucking dead.
You
But
do
no,
not
no,
stay here.
no, not an irrational fear of spiders. But no, well, no, 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 no. But
So go irrational.
well, I mean, there's always like those. See, I can't think of like things that are real bad. I mean, if you wanted to go a more things that scare me that it's kind of funny is the whole reason why it's a bad idea to take me to either a haunted house or to a scary movie
You
because I'm a
scream
jumper.
like a girl.
I'm a jumper.
Oh,
Oh, oh,
I am absolutely a jumper.
I love this.
Oh yeah.
I am learning something new today. I did not
Oh
know
yeah.
that. Oh my
Oh yeah.
God.
Oh yeah. I'm the one. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I am decreeing this right now. At some point, the three of us are going to do a live podcast, but it's also going to be a let's play where Jason plays a game that is jump scares galore.
Oh, God. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, have you ever seen? Yeah, shit. It's been a minute. They had this
Lots
game.
of shit.
They had this game in at Dave and Buster's,
Okay.
and it was one of those ones you sit down in, and it was akin to it wasn't Resident Evil, but it was like that, but it had sensors built into the guns, right? So you'd be sitting there holding the things like this, and it had heartbeat sensors.
Oh no, I already have the one. I already have the one.
And no, but this thing like would show you your heartbeat sensor and it would jump out you, and the more scared you got, I think the more intense the game got. Like the more your heart was going nuts. It was fun as hell.
No.
Just like no.
Yeah, I can't wait.
But
Well, see,
okay, so you're a
and that's what I mean.
jumper, but
It's
are
not
you
the
a
action.
squealer when you jump? Do we get a squeak?
No, there's probably a little bit of swearing.
He's probably the same as I am, where it's just like
I've had the same thing. Like okay, like most of the time you're going to like a local haunted house. They're not exactly you've got some that are you're pretty decent or whatever else. You've got some that are mediocre. You got some that are whatever it is, but it doesn't really matter because every now and then you'll get that one like little thing where even if you're walking through a shitty one where you're kind of going like, oh, okay, yeah, I can kind of tell it or whatever. Then all of a sudden, like somebody does one of their things, or they do that air blow thing where they like,
Oh yeah,
goes on your legs or your face or whatever. And like every now and then, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, they'll catch me. Oh, so many times. And it's definitely one of those where as soon as it's like, you motherfucker.
Oh, I love this. I love learning this.
See, that's why I stopped going, because eventually I walked through a haunted house and I was like, I don't enjoy this. This sucks.
I still remember like there's one that I remember of like one of those kinds of scares, which is the one that I always go to that I remember it vividly. I don't know why. This was like that one that just like dug its spot into my brain and is like stuck in talk about scares like that. And it was going through like a hallway. It was like a big open space, but they had the smoke machine going, so you couldn't see shit as you were walking through. And some kid I think by the time he was done, I think I saw he was wearing a clown mask. That wasn't part of the scare, but he had a flathead shovel and he scraped it on the pavement. So as you're kind of like walking through here, all that you just hear that just, and it was like, oh, okay. Like you weren't expecting it because all you can see, all you can see is the smoke around you. I don't know why that one stuck with me, but that kid hitting that flathead shovel on the pavement.
Oh,
he scraped it along the pavement, and then as you walk by, that's when he does the thing like and like tries to scare you with whatever costume he's wearing. But it was like I don't know why that one stuck with me, but every time I think of a jump scare that like I try to describe the the whole jumper thing, I'm like, yeah, that one because
there's a decent haunted house here called House of Torment, and many years ago, I'm gonna say Ryland was 12, something like that. Outside of Halloween season, they put on basically a live action Call of Duty Zombies,
Oh, I
where
remember this. I remember
where
this.
where they would get in full makeup and all that, but then they would wear these get-ups. They had a halo they put on their head and a chest rig, and you got armed with a modified AR-15 that when you pulled the trigger sounded a pop, right? That kind of, it didn't really sound like a bang, but it was more like a pop because it was powered by CO2, and that would emit a laser. So literally, you'd be going through with the AR-15, a zombie come out, and you aim and pop, and it registers a hit, and then the
It
actor
was
would zombie die.
it was essentially badass laser tag
Yeah,
without the zombies being able to shoot at you.
yeah.
It was awesome.
And let me tell you, number one, I took Ryland twice. One year I took him because he was all into Call of Duty at that point and playing zombies and all that, and he was into it until he got into the haunted house. And I'm like, okay, you take point. I'll make sure they
Take the point, Rylan.
I don't want you to come behind you. I'm scared. I'm scared. You have an AR-15. If they come at you, you shoot. Well, they're going to come behind you. I'm not going first. He was more scared than he had fun that year.
Oh yeah. See, it's either a bad idea or it's absolutely hilarious to make me go first.
So there was, to your point, like there's a certain spot or a certain room. There was one that to me it made you like I wasn't scared, but I thought it was the coolest thing because you went into this upstairs area, and it only had smoke up to about your chest level. But then they also had that smoke right at that level covered with one of those green lasers. So it looked like a glow in the dark fucking swamp. Right? And so what the actors were doing, what the zombies were doing, were staying under in the smoke. So you couldn't see them and doing their zombie sounds, right? They do the right. And every now and then they would pop up out of the smoke and then drop back in, right? And like one of them had not made any noise and then started making the noise, popped up like right in front of you, and you tried to shoot him, but he had already popped down and run back to the fucking back end of the room. So this one guy kept going and just like mother and there was a couple times when he popped up real close to you that scared the shit out of you and you would jump. It was really freaking cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I get that, but I did not know you were a jumper. I'm gonna use that to my advantage one day.
Oh, I'm absolutely a jumper.
Nice.
Oh, don't let me meet you. You're fucked.
I had a guy that I worked with was a jumper. I'd fucking try and scare him every time he came to the office.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah. But not was he just a jumper? He's more like a jump back, but he was also a squealer.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's more just the swearing.
Yeah. Fuck. All right. I will go. So for some people I'd say it's irrational, for others not. Probably my biggest fear, 100%, and I don't give a fuck what kind it is snakes. Hell,
I knew that was coming.
fuck, no fucking way. Hell no. I literally, in my life, where I would go over to friends as an adult, I'd go over to my friends' houses and their kids would have the baby pythons or boas, where the fuck idiot people keep as fucking pets. Yes, I know Jessica had one at one time.
I was gonna say your stepsister had one.
Yeah. She's not a step. She's actually my sister.
Oh, half sister.
Okay. But
shit.
I went over. So there was a barbecue, right? And went over, and all the kids were playing and all that. And I was there. My friend Chris was there, and I had met Chris when I was in the Army. I was infantry. He was MP, and the kids bring out their little pet snake. Now, unraveled, the thing was probably 2 feet. It was a baby. I don't give a fuck. And it was kind of wrapped around his hands. Chris was just as afraid of fucking snakes as I am. And the kids ate that shit up because we were literally pushing each other in front of each other, around each other, trying to get the fuck away from these little fucking 8-year-olds and their snake. And coming, we'd push him, and I'm like, you're about to not have any fucking kids anymore if they keep coming at me with this goddamn snake.
You
Right?
motherfuckers.
Not
I knew
not
that
poisonous.
I knew this was coming, and this was always. This is gonna sound super fucked up to say, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This was always a card I kept in my back pocket because I was always like, if Sean pisses me off enough, I'm going to chase him around the house with a garter snake, and he is going to run like a bitch.
I have run in my youth as a kid. Someone had a fucking little fucking garden snake. I ran the opposite direction, screaming like a girl. Granted, I was like 12. I don't know. But no, fuck. God cursed snakes for a reason. Number one, I know where it comes from. I know exactly why I am fucking deathly afraid of snakes. And I only find about 50% of people that can relate to this. So I don't think TJ's ever seen this. Jason, you might have, because we're not that different in age. Have you ever seen the cartoon movie Ricky Tikki Tavi?
I've heard that name before.
It's a I think it's a book too. It's a story about a mongoose named Ricky Tikki Tavi.
Yeah.
Wait.
You're striking a chord. Keep going.
It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
He winds up becoming a pet of these two children.
Yeah.
Right? The in-course water mongoose known for
being able to take on cobras.
Right, because the venom just does not seem to work on them right away, and they will take out a king cobra. So
their back is so thick that the cobra can't bite.
Imagine, if you will, that the fact that the villains in this movie who want to kill this child are two evil fucking cobras.
Yes.
And the way they drew them, right, and like they had like hypnotizing eyes and shit. And the fact that they just wanted to kill this kid. I'm the kid. I'm watching this movie. You drew it a certain way. I was like, nope. That taught me, no, don't go anywhere fucking near snakes. They're evil motherfuckers.
That just shows you what good artwork can do.
True.
And the funny part is, by today's standards, it's probably not even that good.
Oh no.
But as an impressionable child, it's a cool story. I mean, I can, and of course, the mongoose nearly dies and saves the kid and all that shit, right? Spoiler alert, by the way. But I just remember for sure that, that definitely influenced me to fucking just be deathly afraid of fucking snakes. And that's fine, right? There's a short list of people that I will get in front of them to stop them from getting snake bit, and they, involve family and my children and grandchildren and that kind of shit. But if you're just some random person, I'm out. I hope you run faster than I do.
Now, I like to think like, no matter the situation, if there was danger involved, you would channel your inner Jake Moody and just fucking kick that motherfucker.
Something, and trust me, if I live in Texas, right, and fortunately there's not a lot in the populated area I live in, but I've got a 12 gauge in the house. So if there's one in the backyard.
Well, I was about to say you do live in suburban Austin, so.
Yeah. They're still here, but
yeah, they're there, but you're not exactly in prime snake territory.
So that would be, and I know for some people that love them, and I've heard the stories about Jessica having a snake as a pet. And trust me, if any of my kids come up to me like, "Dad, I want to get," no.
I was there for most
no.
You having a snake and primarily ignoring it doesn't necessarily make it a pet. It just means you had a snake.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what that was.
Well,
I was actually one of those.
I've got a friend that got one for his daughter, and he puts pictures on Facebook of, it laying on its leg. I'm like, it's plotting to fucking chomp on your dick, dude.
There was some kind of thing finding out that, like, at least there was something with feeding them or something like that. I don't know if the mice had to be like multicolored or if there was something about white mice or something. There was some kind of thing where we tried to feed it one time. I don't think Jessica was around. I think it was mom and I at that point or whatever. And like this thing just wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't eat or wasn't hungry. Or I thought we read somewhere that like I don't know if it was colored mice or if it was white mice or something like that, that like they either couldn't see them or I don't know. I'm not
And
sure.
that's the other thing. I'm not having a pet that I have to feed something that's alive to.
Well, yeah.
I can't argue with that. Now I do know you. I think you both did, but you had a rat at one point, didn't you?
Oh, I did. Yeah. Yeah. A couple.
I didn't. I had a
I know
hamster.
you didn't. I was talking to Jason because I
Because
remember.
at least reading about them, they were less temperamental than gerbils and like other like they were at least like some kind of reasonable pet or some kind of thing like that. So yeah, I had a few.
I've heard they're if you get them, obviously not out of the gutter, but
Yeah,
if
well, yeah,
you get them, they're pretty good pets.
yeah. So yeah, we had them for a little while.
My thing was always ferrets. Love ferrets.
Never had a ferret.
Oh, they're awesome.
I did watch The Big Lebowski yesterday though, so nice marmot.
I would love them if they didn't have that stank.
Yeah, the musk and the I actually didn't even find it probably till you were already gone. But there's an additive you put in their water, and they just drink it. It reduces the musk. It can never completely disappear. But
Well, I mean, obviously,
the additive you put in the water really brings it down. The worst part is ferrets are not like cats. You'd have to clean their and scoop their litter every fucking day, which I was horrible at because that,
it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Anyway, so that would be me. So we have roller coasters. We have
Just being a jumper.
being a jumper.
And that's what I mean. I can't think of like
snakes.
Like a specific thing. I can't think of like something as specific as like snakes or roller coasters that I go like, oh yeah, definitely that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Which seems weird. Like, which again, I don't want to have that come off as like being fearless or something, because I'm like, I am certainly not that.
No,
well,
otherwise
no,
you wouldn't be a jumper.
It's the same thing. Like, we all have our things, and it seems like I'm up again.
Sure.
And so now I'm going to go irrational here, because Jason, it might seem like to you that just being a jumper is irrational, but doing what I do for a living, which if you've listened to the podcast, if you don't, I cremate bodies. So if I'm sitting there the night before and I know I have like a 500-pound body I have to load the next morning,
which has happened,
my fear goes through the fucking roof. And it happens more often than you think. I've done it a million times before at this point. But for whatever reason, I just... I'm
sorry, does that mean you get gassy?
No, that means I just shut down. It's just
Yeah.
like in my brain, it's just like, oh God, everything's gonna go awry. I'm gonna fucking misload this. Everything, like the body's gonna be on fire outside the machine. Just everything, just in my head, tends to go wrong. Even though, like, I am 10 out of 10 every time I go in, push it in, goes great.
Yeah, but it makes sense though. I mean,
no, I don't think that's even necessarily irrational. I get it, because if with a body that size, I can only imagine, like, if it goes sideways, it's going sideways.
Yeah, but to me, it's irrational to me, because like I've done it enough times where I feel like I should have the confidence in myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay, so fear of the excessively large body. I could go there. What about
just
you?
fear of just like my day turning into an absolute shit show.
Oh yeah, I think everybody has that.
Oh well, yeah.
Maybe there's something specific that you're like, oh, this is going to turn my day into a shit show. So you're apprehensive about it. It's for me, it's certain locations that I visit. I just know.
Yeah. And for me, that's mine.
Yeah. Sure, I get that. I wouldn't even call that irrational. I call that daily fucking life.
Not with that kind of equipment.
Well, yeah. When you're dealing with, that kind of equipment and what it's built to do, man. I can see that going sideways. I can. Oof, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd want to do a day in that life. I just don't know.
Don't worry, I got it covered.
Appreciate it.
You stay at Subway. Matter of fact, send me some fucking gift cards.
All right, Jason, you got anything irrational?
Let me think. But yeah, okay. I wouldn't necessarily fully call it like an actual feel. Jesus God.
All the feels.
Here.
And rewind.
Here.
I wouldn't call it a feel. Squeeze.
I wouldn't call it that. No.
A cupping.
Who wants any of those?
Gentle petting.
But I have got this thing. I don't know when it started. I don't know why it started. But there is something about which actually you even know about this because your wife at one point. This was the thing about I've just got a thing for I don't like other people's socks.
Okay.
I don't. There's just something I can't.
No,
I can't.
See, I get that.
I won't. Won't pick them up. Like if she takes hers off like in the living room or whatever, it's like no, I'm not picking them up. No.
Okay. I get. I'm going. You're just looking at people's socks, going.
No. There's this thing that's set into my brain where apparently everybody else in the world who wears socks, if you've worn them for a little while, then they're just disgusting.
I think that's fact.
Feet are disgusting, so that's
either wet or moldy or smell or have
all the above.
Have I don't know, like the Ebola in them or something. I don't know.
No, I don't think that's irrational. I think that makes sense.
I don't either because like if I walk upstairs and I go into the bathroom and there's a pair of dirty socks sitting on the floor, I'm like, oh man, like, get them out of here.
No, our feet are completely encased in socks and shoes and boots for the better part of the day.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anyone that does not appreciate being able to take all that shit off and just let them air out at the end of the day. Like it's like,
Well, and that's like that weird thing because like mine don't bug me at all. Like mine, I've got mine on all day, whatever. Like it's not like I'm gonna walk by and go, oh, those are great. That's fantastic. Like I'm not doing that, but like got no problem with mine. Take them off, throw them, pick them up and do whatever. But I
your own stance.
Not even a fear; it's an aversion. I'm just kind of like, no.
Still qualifies. And I completely get it. Like I feel bad for the people that live with me. 8 years in the Army, wearing various different kinds. I didn't get to wear the super comfy sneaker looking fucking boots that these asshole fucking troops get to wear today. Okay.
These asshole troops that were born post 2000, those motherfuckers.
Now I say that.
Shut up.
I say
Shut
that
up.
with jealousy because I didn't get to wear those kind of cushiony boots. I mean, the boots I wore when I was in, I had to make cushiony with insoles and everything else. But
they had nails in them, broken glass.
I mean, there's no like the initial issue combat boots that we got. Had the this much of a padding in it, but
so it's like wearing Converse.
Yeah, basically. But
and then they took them away from me, and I had to walk up 6 feet of the hill in snow.
But
Both ways.
Converse at least are
In
flexible
the snow.
with a skinny fucking sole on them. These are, you know, hard rubber. And then, oh, by the way, we're going to march 25 miles today.
Yum.
You know,
I would definitely stay away from your socks.
so, you know, and even though I've been out of the military since 1997, I think that I don't know if my feet remember that or not. They just like, nope, we're good. We're still going to be sweaty and smelly. Plus, it is Texas. It's hot.
Wow.
See, it's things you say like that, like, oh, by the way, we're gonna march 25 miles today. That reminds me why I never joined the military.
Yeah. So
Mm-mm.
I get that aversion to, I mean, I feel bad for Steph, and I don't leave my socks everywhere or all that, but you know,
If I gotta walk around the Parker up here in cushioned shoes, I'm already bitching. So I'm like, no, not in 25 miles and essentially Converse. I'm like, no.
oh,
Mm-mm.
it's like I told you,
I
you
would be
know,
crying like you've never seen me cry before.
when I got that EIB that I told you about on the other, you know, the other episode where it was, you know, 12 miles in 3 hours or less.
Oh, ugh.
I couldn't do it today. No fucking way. But
Jason, why do you think one of the first things that Lieutenant Dan told Forrest and Bubba when he got there is to change his socks?
That's probably true. Yeah. That is why
it's very true.
that is why I like Gary Sinise so much.
Take good care of your feet. That's probably the most accurate infantry statement he makes in that movie, because that was beat into our heads hardcore. So
Can't move without them.
anyway,
There's my something, whether irrational or, you know, whatever it is, but yeah, like I said, I don't know when it started. I don't know why it started. I have no idea, but I just won't do it.
Well, I mean, I can't fault you for not liking anybody's sweaty clothes. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter who you are.
I don't think that's irrational. I think that's trying not to be disgusting. I'll
Or
go with
just getting that disgusting thing away from me.
yeah. I'll go with one that's, I don't want, it's like, doesn't paralyze my life or anything, but it's in a, you know, if I dreamt about it or imagined myself in it, would be a fear, and it's irrational, but I would say my irrational fear would be vampires. Like if I dreamt I was, you know, being attacked by vampires, it would scare the fuck out of me. Put it that way.
I mean, if you want to go that route, I mean, we could go even like hell, like some of the occasions where you would watch like The Walking Dead, and they would get like one of those things where they're actually going after somebody, and it's like, oh no, you see the practical effects of like peeling skin and like no.
See, zombies doesn't bother me. I think I think I'd be okay in a zombie apocalypse. I'd eventually lose, like we all would, but
Well,
you know, but yeah, if it was this, they came out and we're talking about fucking vampires are real, like in Blade or some shit, I'd be freaked the fuck out.
I could see that. I mean, well, I mean, that just whether fictional or not. I mean, you're talking about an organism that would be like way stronger, way faster, and then like all you gotta do is just be obviously slower than they are, and you're food.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Why? I'm convinced there is too much garlic in my diet. That if a vampire bit me, he would fucking die.
Be one of those.
That's one way to do it.
Suck my dick. More garlic mashed potatoes.
I mean, you might as well be protected just in case.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If there was ever a reason to eat garlic, it is that.
Now I would say, like when you know Jason talking about zombies, I think it would depend, because the way they keep trying to change, like Walking Dead zombies and you know, most depictions of zombies indicate them as fairly normal or fairly slow movers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you know, they're going to come at you, it's kind of animalistic, but it's average or below average movement speed. Now the zombies in the movie World War Z that were fucking hauling
well,
ass everywhere they went.
yeah, that would be a little much.
Yeah. And so when like they would be normal zombie mode if they didn't hear something, but then sound would trigger them, and then all of a sudden it was, they were fucking marathon sprinters.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
I'm already scared of marathon.
in that case, I'm out.
I'm already scared of marathon sprinters as it is.
Oh,
Get a
shit.
marathon sprinting zombie?
See, I'm out at that point too, but at the same time, like, if a motherfucker is turned, I'm not gonna have a problem taking his head off.
Oh, hell no.
Oh God, no.
So, like, I think my instinct of survival would kick in, just be like, nope, nope.
Oh yeah.
I say that because I rewatched World War Z recently. I don't know why, probably out of boredom, but there's some things in that movie like when in the beginning of it, when Brad Pitt is trying to get rescued, he wraps his arms in thick ass magazines. I'm like, that's fucking genius.
Mm-hmm.
No fucking human teeth is getting through the fucking JCPenney winter catalog.
That's true.
You're not wrong.
Right? So you don't even need fucking, steel plated armor. You just need a whole lot of paper.
All you need is a few versions of the Yellow Pages, and you're good to go.
Yeah. But yeah, I would, if it was irrational, something that would scare me, vampires, I guess. I can still watch the movies and all that kind of shit, but yeah, if they were real, I'd probably be freaked the fuck out.
Oh well, yeah. Yeah. There's way more like tactical advantages or physical advantages or whatever you want to call it. Okay, despite the fact that they only come out at night. Okay, whatever. But there's so many more like those advantages if you're being attacked by a vampire that it's like,
Well,
like you said, you get the whole thing with the Walking Dead zombies where they're moving kind of lumbering around. It's like, okay, maybe a little more of a decent chance because you've got a little bit more time to potentially react. Where any depiction of a vampire is just automatically you're just standing here like, hey everybody, how's it going? And then there's just somebody like right behind you. You're like,
yeah,
oh,
as long as you can inflict some damage to the brain with a bat or a machete or shoot it or whatever, you got a shot against the way they're depicting zombies now, and you got a chance. You don't have to have a specific wooden stake, cross, garlic, silver bullet, whatever.
There is a lot of specificity. Is that a word?
I think it is.
Specificity. I don't know, remember. In like the weapons of choice for a vampire, as opposed to, I don't know, just grab something that can cause blunt force trauma for a zombie.
Well, and again, right, the superhuman senses, the superhuman strength, if you believe whichever version, like if I was a character in the movie Lost Boys, I would have been fucked. I probably would have been the guy that they fucking put their teeth into the head.
See, I don't think that's the case because I think if you were that paranoid about it, you'd be walking around with like a fucking clove of garlic just hanging around your neck.
Garlic?
I'd probably have eau de garlic perfume.
Yeah, exactly.
Just walking around with like a little bag of like crispy garlic. Like, yeah, go ahead, motherfucker.
Well, even
Christ, Sean, you smell like shit. Yeah, but I'm not dead.
Yeah, but depending on which version, of the vampires that you believe, garlic doesn't work on some, and then don't get me started.
Sorry, boys, I lost headphones, so I had to switch to speakers.
You're good.
So that's like part of the conversation.
Don't even get me started. The one set of vampires I don't think I would be afraid of are the Twilight ones.
Oh,
just gonna say
they're sparkling. Whatever shall I do?
I think there's probably be way more like standing around like looking like you're puzzled.
You guys ever see there was
going to be a lot of that in those movies.
It's an old movie. James Woods was the star. I think it's John Carpenter's Vampires, and the head vampire was the same guy that's from Karate Kid 3, Thomas Ian Griffith. He's Terry Silver, the rich guy. He's the head vampire in it. He pulls off a pretty convincing fucking superhuman vampire. That one was a little like, yeah, he'd probably fuck me up.
Yeah, see if I can remember that one. I vaguely remember that.
I think it's available on either Netflix or Amazon Prime. But so yeah, that okay. Again,
Yeah,
irrational. I know they're not real as far as we know.
Whatever.
That would be my irrational fear.
Head and as far as we know.
As far as we know, I don't want to piss off the secret treaty holders.
I don't know. I mean, if they are around here and they've got some really good senses, I mean, they appear to be in the lazy twat category because none of them are subscribing.
Well, yeah, and that's like you piss off vampires, it's like pissing off witches. Like Wicca's not real. Just all the hate coming here now.
Hey, there's you can say that about a lot of shit though, like acupuncture, chakras, aliens, all kind of, witchcraft, blah 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 blah. There's stories out there for some reason, whether they made them up or whether the shit is real and hidden. I have no fucking idea.
I'll just say this. Just believe in whatever gets you through the night.
Yeah.
Whatever gets you through the next day, just believe in that.
I find it hard to believe in the amount of fucking planets that are discovered that we're the only sentient living organism, right?
There's no fucking way.
I find that very hard to believe. Well, but they can't sustain life. They don't have. Well, maybe there's motherfucking things out there that don't need water and oxygen. Maybe they need nitrogen and fucking helium. I don't know.
Also, have you been there? No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, I would find it hard to believe that we're the only, whatever you want to call it, civilization in the universe.
Seems like a big waste of space if we are.
True.
I know, right? There's this vast universe. You're the only motherfuckers here.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like voodoo, witchcraft, all that kind of shit, I have no fucking idea.
Hmm?
I choose not to piss any of them off just in case.
Well, yeah,
fair.
Better safe than sorry.
Exactly. So I don't know, but all right. Well, what else? Anyone got any other irrational fears or other fears we want to get off our chests for the what the hellions?
I mean, for me, this was probably one of the most logical fears, but I don't fear it anymore. And I do want to talk about it. And this might sound weird to both of you. I don't fear dying. And it's not like I'm looking to die or anything like that, but I've been on this planet long enough to realize how shit works. Eventually, I'm going to go. Whenever my number is called, my number's called. I can't do a fucking thing about it. So,
True.
The way I look at it is, let's make the best of the time I got.
Yeah, I get that.
I agree with
that. I get that. I wouldn't say. I mean, that's a weird one, right? Because so many people are afraid of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good number that aren't, and there's a good number that aren't to the degree that they're going to try something that may kill them on a daily basis.
True.
Like anybody that enters like the Red Bull air race or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. But I mean,
the guy that wants to skydive from fucking space.
Yeah, I'm good.
The guy that skydived without a fucking parachute.
Well, no.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna land in this big fucking net.
Have fun.
As someone that has jumped out of a plane, I'll take the parachute.
I have not jumped out of a plane.
I did a tandem jump. I think when I turned 30. Only time I've ever done it. It was a blast.
I was going to at one point. I don't remember why. It wasn't for any reason like I didn't want to. I can't remember. I think it was scheduling or something like that. I can't remember.
I'd recommend it.
I was going to.
What I will say about it is it's definitely not. It doesn't feel like you think it's going to feel. it's pretty fucking amazing at the end of the day, even if you're strapped with someone that strapped to someone and not doing it on your own. The you get you everyone figures you're going to have that tightness in your stomach when you go over the hill of a roller coaster and going down. You can have that the whole way down.
Yeah.
That lasts about 10 seconds.
Yeah. Here's the deal. I'm not going to willingly jump out of a plane at altitude. Go fuck yourself. Have a nice day.
I respect that.
Yeah, I do too. But yeah, I think I don't know where I would stand on that one though. As far as, am I afraid to? Do I want to right now? No, absolutely
Well,
not.
I mean, I don't think anybody wants to, but as far as like the prospect of it, like, I mean, day after day, you never know. I mean, coming from the industry that I come from, I see young people, old people. You never know when it's coming.
Yeah.
But if it does come, like, I'm okay with where I'm at right now, and I feel like I'm living my best life. You know what I mean?
I think it's, it's a personal thing, right? I mean, like, am I afraid of it? I don't, especially facing what I'm facing right now. Obviously that's come up, right? The mortality possibility. Am I afraid of it? I'd say, yeah, probably a little, and not as much as I was in my youth and all that kind of stuff. But
Well,
the
yeah, but
more,
you're also more understandable because you also have children.
yeah,
That's
and that,
easy for me to say.
yeah, with
Right,
between,
and yeah, that's what I mean. I would kind of go with that. Yeah, it's more understandable for you to have an apprehension or a fear or whatever it is, considering what you're facing. I mean, all of us, okay, at any given point, all of us are taking a risk no matter what. You get in your car, you get on a plane, you do whatever, you
Yeah,
walk down the street, you're
very true.
again, likelihood, no, probably not that likely, but I've had, at least like between like family members, friends, people I went to high school with, where depending on sickness, depending on accidents, depending on whatever,
Yep.
that you don't know.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But when you're faced with something like what you're facing now, where it's kind of not staring you in the face, but it's at least a little more relevant now
Best way to
than
put it.
it may be for somebody like me who's not facing what you're facing. That's what I mean. No, I could totally
Yeah.
see there being it, even a small sense of fear of it. I mean, just because you're
Yeah.
facing something that, I mean,
I'm not gonna lie. If I was in your position, I'd be scared shitless.
Depending on the day, I won't lie about it. Depending on the day.
Yeah,
Happens.
so I'm not trying to like big league you or anything.
Oh no. So I can understand both. I can understand both sides of that, right? Where you wouldn't be, and I know a lot of what's the right way to phrase it? I know a lot of um let's just say the Christians that are reassured because of they feel they're saved and going to heaven and all that kind of stuff. And I'm one of those, but I'm still apprehensive.
You're not banking on it.
Then the problem is I should, right? As much as I've studied it and all that kind of shit, I should be banking on it, understand it, and maybe even feel a little bit of relief. I don't know. But it's different. I think it's different. So
well, no,
I get it.
Yeah, we're just gonna leave that at that because we're not gonna take that.
No, this is not that
Yeah,
show.
no,
We're not doing
this kind of podcast.
we're not doing politics and we're not doing religion. Sorry,
Exactly.
no. But no, I'd say that I fall somewhere closer to TJ than I do you, where it's like I'm not exactly like, yeah, I wouldn't call it being afraid of it, where it's like, okay, again, for the people around us, between again accidents, disease, that, all of these things, and especially between things that you either seem so mundane that like an accident happens. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll even give an example. There was a cousin that at one point he was riding around on, I think it was a four-wheeler or something like that, and somehow hit whatever it was. And when it came down on him, like he
Crushed him.
Yeah, it came down, and whether it was instantaneous or it was a little bit later, I don't remember. But like, again, he started the day by just going to a thing with like family and getting on a four-wheeler, doing whatever. And it's like, you don't know. So I'm not, that's what I mean by like, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty set right now to go like, okay, yeah, there's always going to be things that I'm going to say that I wish I would have done, or something here and something there. And I mean, hell, it was one of the reasons between like her and I getting together and moving to Vegas for a year. It was something I'd never done before, and like like that. But I mean, between family, friends, and where I'm at, like I'm not anticipating it. I'm not, going like,
Exactly.
all right, I'm ready for it whenever.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if my number gets called, my number gets called.
Yeah, but you're also not cowering in the house in fear of if you go outside, it's definitely going to happen.
Oh no.
Oh hell no.
Yeah, I get that.
There's a lot of cool stuff outside, like alcohol, and well, there's alcohol in here too. Oh yeah, never mind. There's alcohol.
But you have to go outside to get
stuff outside, like
once you're
football
out.
games.
That's true. Oh well, yeah. See, there you go.
Well, and let's be honest, your drone piloting skills indoors have already proven to be less than stellar.
That's also true.
Yes, I remember this story.
So,
Oh, that is. I will say though, that's cool ass drone.
I'm sure that drone had many plans for its life, and unfortunately, accidents happen.
Well, I just hope that drone wasn't afraid of death.
Maybe next time that drone should stop mouthing off so much.
Here we go. Oh, all
Jason's the only guy to fly a drone towards his face and slap it out of the air.
Get out.
All right, well, let's put a bow on it. Call it done. That was enjoyable. Hopefully, and again, if anyone wants to make a comment, the email address. Feel free to put a comment in the YouTube section. Would you agree with this? Is anybody else as afraid of snakes as I am? What? Let us hear. Let us know. Again, you want to know, you want a different topic, you want to hear more stuff, suggestions, all that's always welcome. So, just so that I can get TJ to stop making that face.
I wasn't sure what was happening. I was like,
I wanted to keep going because it just kept. I want to see how long he was going to keep it up.
Blink twice if you're okay. Do we need to call somebody?
Now that he's almost done with his seizure, man of many books, bring it home.
You know what I'm going to say.
Apparently, you're going to say,
No, I mean, it's one of the other.
Well, hold on. Now, everybody on three. Everybody does it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, fuck you, Jason. You suck.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Apparently, that's how I mistook playing rock, paper, scissors too.
Yeah. So here's my new message. Everybody, be good to each other, except Jason.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Jason, what do you got for him?
Well, I'd say stay classy and search your hometown here, except for TJ's.
So my hometown just whipped your fucking college teams football.
I know, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I shit the bed on that.
That's all right. one of us had to do it.
That was word salad right there. It's just like words just coming out of your mouth.
What are we yelling about?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for keeping downloading. We'll catch you on the flip side.